Welcome. I am Jacob, aka Mr. Also, and I am joined by my partners in crime, Martez and Aaron. Don't call him Aaron, he will turn green. We are the host of Saturday Morning Serial Podcast, where we review and react your favorite video game news, TV shows, and movies. How are you guys doing today?
I'm good. Let's get it today. This episode was fire.
Yeah, it was. Yes, yeah. Once again, we're going to be going over Loki episode 4. So heavy spoilers. We're just letting you guys know spoilers right now. We're going to do
Heavy,
predictions. Yes, we're going to do predictions
heavy.
and a reaction and review and breakdown of the episode.
Yeah, from Wednesday to Friday, all bets are off.
Right. And then once again, I wanted to announce that we are on all streaming platforms when it comes to audio and podcast. So you guys can follow us there. You guys don't have to watch us live. If you guys just want to follow us on those streaming platforms, it'd be greatly appreciated. And don't forget to comment. Whoever is watching in the live stream, you can comment in the stream in the chat. We're watching the chat, so you guys can go ahead and put in comments there if you want to. All right. How was y'all weeks?
Not everybody start at once.
How was your week, Martez?
I had a lot of trouble at my work, technical trouble. So it wasn't like
okay.
it wasn't like nothing I did. But for 2 days, I pretty much couldn't do my job, so I had to go in and get a whole new equipment.
Oh wow, that can be frustrating.
But it's over.
That's good. What's up, Aaron? How was your week?
That was pretty good. Stepped into my job for the first time on Friday. Physically walked in there yesterday.
Well, that how was that?
The ghost town.
The ghost town. It's like everybody else didn't show up.
Nope.
That's funny.
All right. All right. So let's get in. We can get into the episode 4. Share my screen real quick. It's actually got a new way of looking at it too, weird, so we don't have to show the tabs and stuff like that. So let's get there. All right. So obviously they left off with the breakdown of last episode, and when we left off on our first episode, we're back in Asgard and they're showing little Sylvie playing in Asgard. And obviously she's not supposed to be there for some reason. And the TVA come and get her. And it's, what's her name again? The lady from the TVA, the one that's in charge of the TVA right now.
Ravonna Renslayer.
Ravonna Renslayer, right. She comes in as an agent to come pick her up. And ended up telling her that she is going against the protocol, the timeline, and that she has to come back to the TVA with them. She ends up coming back with them. They erase the timeline again, and she goes through the same treatment as regular Loki did, going through the little metal detector or the human detector, and then she ends up getting away, taking the time traveling piece and getting away. What did you guys at this episode? What part of this episode? What did you guys think was going on with this? Was it just, you think it was just backstory or what?
No, it was backstory, just simply explaining how, because she was just born a female version of Loki, things wasn't right, so wipe the timeline just because she was a female.
The whole damn timeline because of one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes further just to say what we've been saying off top. And later, full confirmation of what we've been saying. But it's just been saying that they not the good guys. They not, these benevolent people. They doing shit like snatching up kids because you the wrong gender.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
And what if this is a sneaky way to set up what if also?
Yeah. That'd be another good way to do so too.
I think so too. And
yes,
I have a big thing, and this ain't a theory at this point. It's too much evidence pointing to it. So later, once we get toward the end of the review, the summary of the episode, I'll speak on it. But this ain't even what I would consider a theory. This is, so this is how they're gonna bring him in, huh? Right. Because it's there. The writing's on the wall. But go ahead, bro.
So then they ended up showing us back to the I don't know if it's the future or the past or whatever. They're back in the current timeline at the TVA. They go and actually show her going to look at the timekeepers. Actually, showing for the first time for a little bit. Show us a little small little teaser of them before they go into the scene. And then they go back to the TVA, just saying that they're trying to look for, still trying to look for Loki, can't find them. Loki and Sylvie, but they can't find them. So there's a bunch of stuff going on too between what's his name again? The
Mobius.
Yeah, Mobius. Between Mobius, because Mobius asking all these questions like, where did the agent go? And then the old girl was like, well, she started going crazy, so we had to get rid of her, right? She was no coming back, but he just didn't understand. Like, okay, she just got taken over by Loki. It doesn't mean that she had to die. But what they didn't reveal at this time, and what we kind of all knew, is that they got rid of her to shut her up, right? Because she went into her mind, or Sylvie went into her mind and basically saw that she had a history. And now, when we found that out last episode, it's leaking over into this episode. So they're trying to cover that up for some reason, and then now we're seeing the mistrust within the TVA and how they are trying to hide stuff themselves. So now back to my disappointment. We went back to Loki and Sylvie, and this scene right here is what I thought was the scene with Black Widow, because it looks just like her, and they set us up. They set us up like crazy for this scene. So and I thought this was the scene where he was going to sit down and talk to Black Widow for some reason, but no, this is just them sitting on an exploding planet and talking. Now, uh, this part, I guess you guys have to explain to me, because somehow they made a Nexus event with this, but from what they were explaining is that they fell in love, and
Yeah,
that
self
was about
love.
the BMX exit. Oh, so
Because
self love. Okay.
so the Nexus event is the ultimate act of narcissism.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Self
This
love.
dude he fell in love with
Yeah.
himself.
Got you. Got you. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And because of the fact that Lokis are meant to, based on the TVA standard, be selfish and shit like love and loyalty is not supposed to
Mhm.
register with them. But not only did one Loki feel this, two Lokis at the same exact time for
Mhm.
each other, but it
Mhm.
counts.
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
caused the Nexus event because it's not
Mhm.
supposed to happen. It's not supposed to be part of the timeline in the least. And
Mhm.
what made them freak out is that it's a Nexus event during the apocalypse, and that's not supposed to
Mhm.
be possible. So
Mhm.
self love, man. Self love is important. You need to love yourself. Okay,
Yes, love
remember that,
yourself.
everybody. Love yourself.
Loki proves self love will get you far.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So they ended up making a Nexus event, and right when the world was blowing up, and the timeline started going crazy. So that's how the TVA figured out where they were, and they ended up coming and saving them from off of that planet, or basically saving and capturing them, and taking them off that planet. So TVA ended up separating them into separate rooms, um, and they ended up putting Loki in this time warp dimension, to where he kept going round and round in circles on a memory that he had did. But before he went in there, he had told, um, I forget his name again. He told
Mobius.
he told Mobius that uh, that the TVA shouldn't be trusted, and they were lying to you this whole time. Well, obviously he thought Loki was lying, or Loki was trying to trick him, so he still threw him in there. Um, so he threw him in there, and Loki was seeing a memory he had of cutting what's her name game again?
Lady Sif.
Sif.
Yeah, Lady Sif's hair, and she kept coming in and saying, "Hey, you're a bastard. You're this and that. You're this and that." And she ended up punching him in the face, or slapping him, punching him in the face, and knee him in the groin. And he just kept doing it. She kept doing that over and over and over again until he basically got tired of it, and or until he couldn't take it anymore. And then the TVA basically came in and came in to try to question him again. So
Now,
go ahead.
that scene was worse in the comic books because, this actually happened in Loki comics, and Sif just tried to murder him. No
Ooh.
kicking, just straight tried to murder him in the comics. So I
Oh,
appreciate
wow.
that.
Yeah, so they toned it down a little bit.
Yeah, no. So
Right.
her hair was just about shaved bald in the comics.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, he deserves to die after that. This one was just a little bit here.
Because you gotta remember, comic Loki isn't the likable, lovable goofball from the MCU. He's a
Mhm,
dick.
mhm,
Like
mhm,
he's like as bad as it gets, bro. He literally took her body at one point.
mhm,
You know, that's what
mhm,
Lady Loki actually is. He took her body after Ragnarok. He
mhm,
kidnapped the Hulk's body and was controlling it to
mhm,
kill Thor and beat his ass half to death. Literally, he's on his
mhm,
way to
mhm.
Valhalla. You know, this Loki is not somebody you root for in the book. So yeah,
Right.
it's way worse, dog. So she could have
Yeah.
been trying to immediately stab him in the face.
Yeah. Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. So and TVA ended up bringing him back in to question him again,
Wow.
but but
Wow.
but before this they weren't they celebrating, or this time they were celebrating together, right? Or is this
Hmm.
when they were just talking with each other about what was going on?
And
No,
drinking.
yeah, yeah. So this is when they were drinking together. No. This is before. This is when he was just talking to him and seeing what they wanted to do. They
Mm.
weren't drinking yet. They were just talking to each other to see what they wanted to do. She was asking him could he question Sylvie, and she was like, "No, I don't want you to question Sylvie at all." He was like, "Why? I could get more out of her if I could actually talk to her." She was like, "No, she already got one of her agents. She'll make you're too vulnerable. She'll take over your mind." No, obviously she was doing that because she had her own plan for her. Um, then he ends up going um, past was it this is C20 or is it B?
Mm.
Do we remember
B50, I think.
B50?
B15.
B15? Yeah.
B15. Yeah.
B15.
He ended up going past B15. And B15 is really questioning everything because she was taken over by Sylvie. And she's like, she doesn't understand what's going on. She doesn't understand what's real, but she's going to try to ask the right questions to see what's going on, but also still try to do her job because she's in the middle of her confusion. Like, okay, is what I saw real or was it a trick? But she's like, but I can't ignore it, right? So she's going to try to investigate herself, and she's having internal conflict of what she should do too. So Loki ends up getting taken out, um, and this is where we get into the theory of him falling in love with himself, and he's just basically breaking down everything, and Loki's really trying to tell him the truth of what's happening. He's like, look, man, this it's not real. TBA is not real. You're a variant. You used to be human, and um, Mobius does not want to hear it. He doesn't want to believe it either. He kind of does, but he's putting on this he's putting on this facade or just making sure that he's not being tricked by Loki. So Loki keeps trying to tell him, had this conversation with him, and then he ends up just throwing Loki back into the thing. And I think Loki did kind of hit a nerve when he told him that he was a variant and everything. So he ends up that gets stuck in Mobius's mind, and he just ends up investigating himself afterwards. Um, then B50, right? She ends up
B15.
V15, sorry. She ends up going back into Sylvie's room and she looks like she's about to take care of her. But and get rid of her, but because that's her job, that's what she's supposed to be doing. But she ends up going in and taking her back to and not helping her escape, but she's taking her back somewhere else so she can talk to her privately to see what's really going on. Now this is the part where Mobius and old girl starts talking to each other, drinking, and this is where you start seeing their friendship together and how tight they're close they are. But also, you really see that the TVA is hiding something here, and Mobius is getting very concerned himself. He gets so concerned that he ends up taking old girl's time device. He switches hers with his, so because that time device records information whenever somebody's interrogated, so he ends up taking it. And taking and going out the room, you see B-15 with Sylvie next at the Roxcart Nexus event, and she ends up. She's like, "What? What would?" She asks, "What did you do to me?" She's like, "Well, I didn't do anything to you. I just unlocked your memories." She was like, "I can't." She was like, "I can't believe that." She believes that it's trickery. She was like, "Okay, no, let me unlock more." She was like, "Okay, let me see everything." And then she ended up letting her touching her neck and letting her see everything. She was like, "I was happy," you know. Yeah, B-15 was like, "I was happy. Why did they want to take that away from me?" And then that's when they have their plan in the future. Um,
Was it
cut me off when you
eval?
need to stop. Yeah, cut me
Nah,
off when
you
you need
got
to
it.
stop.
Just a quick theory throwing it out there. And this ain't even
Go
a
ahead.
theory. This is just something I think would be cool. What if she's from
Hmm.
Wakanda?
Mm,
Wow, that's crazy.
Cause
That is a crazy
she
theory.
fit the profile, bro. Like,
Hmm.
you know, like she got a little fro. She might have been bald when she got there. She might have been a Dora, you know.
She said she had kids, didn't
And
she? Did she
mm-hmm.
say she had kids?
and she's badass. So,
Hmm.
you know, just throwing that out there. That'd be cool.
Hmm.
Not even a theory per se, just something I think would be cool.
Yeah. My question is why are they taking the variants away from their timelines?
Two things. Last episode I was saying, I think a lot of them are POWs, you know, and I think a lot of them are people who didn't fit the perfect timeline that they were trying to do, so they repurposed them.
Hmm.
And I think they took a lot of people who, like I said, were probably badasses in their own respect and whatever they was doing. Like she obviously is a badass fighter, you know, but she didn't fit their timeline. Oh, well, we're gonna snatch you out of here. You can fight, so we're gonna repurpose you to fight for us. Because everybody in the TVA can scrap. You know, Sylvie just top tier, so she can take them out. Loki can take them out, but none of these people are like slouches when it come to hand to hand. You know, they be giving them a run for their money. So
Hmm.
obviously they had to be like soldiers or warriors or something to begin. Some of them might be Asgardians, and if you listen to what Mobius said earlier, he said we done brought in vampires, we done brought in, you know, all kinds of stuff. That's probably what
Yeah.
a lot of these agents are. You know, is these
Yeah.
different races and stuff that's been repurposed. So some the game is afoot. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a partial answer, but if it's who I think it is, I think we'll get a full answer in that, man.
I
Yeah.
bet you and I think it's the same person, Aaron, because the writing's on the wall now.
Hmm.
It's got to be.
Mhm.
It's got to be this
Hmm.
person, but we'll
Hmm.
see.
So they ended up coming with their own plan to try to stop the TBA, and this is when they go back to the TBA in the library, and this is when more Mobius looks at and finds, or sorry, he pulls out the time machine, and he ends up looking in to see what happened during the interrogation. First, he confirmed that she was deceased, and then he looked at the mission file, and then where she was asking. What happened, this is real, what happened. I had a life. I had a history. You guys told me that it wasn't real. And then a girl walked up, was like, yeah, this has got to stop. I'm not doing this, and we're not talking about this anymore. So and then she ended up stopping the video, which confirmed to Mobius that they were hiding something. So he goes back to Loki in his little time warp, and he's like, look, are you sure that I can trust you? Because what you told me, I think, is real, and I really need to fix the situation and see what's really going on. Loki say she could trust me, and then they called each other friends. Blah 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 blah. they end up
At
they
a
end up
moment,
leaving out of there. Yeah, they end up leaving out of there, and then the TBA actually catches them, switches the device back with them, and then they end up killing off Mobius. Mobius is dead, quote
Wink,
unquote.
wink.
Yeah. So they end up taking Loki and Sylvie back down to meet the timekeepers. And they end up going down the elevator. She ended up asking, oh girl, what's her name again? The leader of TVA.
Ravonna
Yeah,
Renslayer.
Ravonna.
Renslayer.
Yeah, Ravonna. And she ended up asking her, do you remember me? You remember bringing me in? She was like,
No.
she's like, no, she hardly remembers anything. And she was just basically trying to lie and
What a
do what she
what
had
a
to do to get
what
past
a
her.
biatch. Okay.
Right.
The way she said it, she gets this little biatch smirk on her face. I don't even remember. You remember Hooker? Yes, you do. You just want to be a biatch. Okay, you remember.
Remember, for her, it could have been a Tuesday.
You not that reference. Woo! It's the most significant day of your life, Sylvie. But
Right.
for Ravonna, it was Tuesday. That's
So
funny.
this is where we finally see the timekeepers in their full glory, looking like they're sitting on their invisible thrones, or uh, and it looks like they just sit there, and that was the first suspicious thing that I saw, because it's like, okay, do you guys just sit there the whole time? Are they watching something? Are they looking at something? Or this is just what they do all day? So they ended up sitting there, and then they end up asking Loki, why are they so troublesome? Like, why are you guys doing this? And then Loki's like, what made you almighty and powerful? Like, why are you guys doing this? And they're basically questioning each other back and forth. Um, so there was basically like, look, it's inevitable. We're just gonna get rid of you, and that's the only thing that's gonna happen. You guys are about to be dead. But the somebody else followed him down the elevator, and it was your girl B-15, and she came in swinging, and she came in and it basically got everybody into a big fight. Dudes are dying, and the Lokis will start stabbing people. They didn't even get rid of them. They just stabbed them, just straight up stabbed them, just stabbing them through the chest. They weren't to disappear. There was no mercy. So then Ravonna and Sylvie start getting into their fight. Loki is fighting two people, as he does all the time, and struggling with that. So Sylvie is fighting old girl. Loki see that she's struggling a little bit. Sylvie actually gets down on the floor and she's about to get wasted. But then Loki ends up getting rid of his two people, and he ended up knocking Ravonna off of her, or knocking her out. Right? They knocked her out because they didn't get rid of her, right? So they
They
knocked
knocked
her
her
out.
out.
Yep. And then Sylvie went up and she went to go kill one of the timekeepers. And we found out that timekeeper is a robot or an android.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Was
Yes.
the device confirmed?
Yes. Yes. So now we found out that they are not um, real, and they
This a
are
Marvel
being
show. You
used.
can't have that DC merch over here.
We know.
And then, yep. So we found out that they're robots, and this is basically confirming that they're not real. So Loki and Sylvie is really questioning stuff now, like what the hell is going on? Why who's really in charge? Sylvie looks like that really looks defeated because she really thought that she was up to get what she wanted, and that was taking away the timekeepers. So and then they end up having a talk, and end up getting closer, and then
Aww.
pow, Loki is disintegrated. Yeah, right in front
Owen
of
Wilson.
Sylvie. Yes.
Wow.
Yep. And then so now Sylvie turns around and says, "Hey, Ravonna, I'm not going to kill you. You're just going to tell me what's really going on here." And then that's the end of the episode. And then we go past and go to the middle credit scene. And then guess what? We see Loki. And Loki wakes up and he was like, "Am I dead?" And then some three guys woke up or was next to him. They're like, "Well, if you don't come with us, you will be." And this is probably one of the biggest moments of the episode.
Yeah. And you know the significance of Old Man Loki, right?
Nope.
It's
So
most.
you guys can go ahead and go
We'll
with your
get in that.
theories and let me know. Yeah. But where do you guys want to start first? Do you guys want to start with the
Let,
fake what's the names? Do you guys
my
want to
dog,
start the after credit
look at my
scenes?
dog 616 looking Loki. Old man Loki. Okay.
No, that tells you hit it on the head. That's who they said it's supposed to be. This is supposed to tie into the actual comics now.
That's 616 Loki, baby. That's Loki. That's real Loki. And if
That's
that's
real
who
Loki.
that's who it's supposed to be, he is the most ruthless, psychotic, sick bastard in this entire photo. Okay. Okay. He's a sick human being. Boy, not a human being.
Yes.
Kid Loki, his story is kind of sad, Loki. No,
Mhm.
no pun intended.
Mhm.
And I don't know who this Black Thor looking dude is. Truth be told, I don't have no sources on him.
Oh, that's boastful Loki. He's a combination of another Loki that was introduced last year. There's a Loki version that was worthy to wield Mjolnir.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
Mm-hmm.
dope. But this just it confirms stuff that we was talking about last episode. Some of the theories we threw up got shot down. Okay, it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a dream. I can live with that. But a bunch of the stuff that we already said has been completely confirmed. One, we
Mm-hmm.
know the TVA is full of shit. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
hmm
one. Two, they are not killing them. They're sending them somewhere when they do that. We know that for a fact now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Three, we know for a fact that these are not TVA agents that are created. They had lives and stuff. They're variants.
Mm-hmm.
And getting into the preview for the next episode, we see that obviously Mobius is doing something in the trailer for the next episode. I'm going to touch on that later because that touches on what me and Aaron know is going to happen soon. But
Mm-hmm.
everything's coming to a head now. They picked up the speed, they ramped it up real good, and I feel like it's about to be a Loki war. These aren't the only three Lokis there. I just think those are the three that was there when he got there, and they was like, "Hey, we came to get you and bring you into the fold." I bet it's an army of Lokis over there, bro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And all the trailers we've been seeing with this President Loki, I think he owns like a certain section of this whatever place they're at right now. And that's what he's doing. All of those people around him are variants who done been sent to this world that he was ruling. And they're like, oh shit, there's some more Lokis here. And that's why they turned on him. That's what I'm thinking. So we'll see. It's Loki recruiting time because they're going to come back, army full of Lokis and attack the TVA. And it's about to be lit. Like Resident Evil, but done right this time.
What do you think, Andy?
Actually, I got nothing to add on that one. Pretty much same thing I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like I said, he hit it on the nail. Like I said, the one person I think that's responsible about this, yeah, it's Kang, and we probably won't get. We're not going to get all the answers until Ant-Man, because apparently the writer of this is also writing Ant-Man Quantumanium. He's also assisting writing that as well. So
facts.
So okay, so what do you think the end game is here then? Because I'm like, where are they at? No. I'm just saying, like, where are they at? Are they on another timeline?
Well, if you look at the evidence in the background, you see the destroyed Avengers Tower in there. It looks like a fucked up version of New York.
I think it's the Nexus.
That could make sense. That makes a lot of sense actually, because a lot of stuff will converge. The Nexus is kind of like Outworld, stuff from all the different places that they probably done wiped ends up here. So it's like Outworld. It's a big.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, it does look like a destroyed tower. Let me go to a different screen so people can see it more. But yeah, you see right here, it's a tower. Looks like a tower that's destroyed. The Avengers Tower. It looks like destroyed New York. So what do you think they mean if you don't come with us, you'll probably die?
It's probably a conversion of everyone that got pruned. That's like sitting there right now.
Okay. But I was just saying, like, is it because it's like every man for himself? Like, if you know what I mean? Like, if somebody comes by, it would just kill you because this is basically where all the bad guys go?
I don't think it's just the bad guys. I think it's everyone that the TVA pruned, and they're all there. Depending on how long they're there, they like formed alliances. So depending on the worst, you don't want to be there.
All right. What do you think, Tez?
I'm telling you, it's like Outworld, just like what he said. In Outworld, if you be by yourself, it's a wrap. Somebody gonna mark you for whatever reason they decide. So the Lokis, they probably grabbing themselves to make sure that they straight, because they like, we need as many of us as we can get for what's about to come.
Okay.
And
or worse yet, everybody knows Loki, so they probably looking at them like, oh, we got one of them by themselves. We hate these guys.
Yeah, they probably do.
I guess we're going to figure out, what the end game is. Yeah, it's control, but I just don't understand why Kang would want to take Loki's and to throw them all in the Outworld. Like, I don't understand the motivation of doing so.
Hey, he's not above mistakes.
No, I understand that. but I just don't wouldn't get the motivation there. Maybe it could be Kang, but maybe it's somebody else that we're not thinking about.
That and he's
Um,
probably that and he's probably trying to be careful too, because I keep thinking about Endgame and the Ancient One and how one misstep with the multiverse and all the alternate timelines will collapse everything at once.
or maybe it's
So,
his job to keep the timeline together for something that he wants to do in the future.
hmm, yeah,
I
that's pretty.
I posit a theory that it has something to do with energy that he draws from different places, because if he's drawing a lot of energy from this Nexus, the more powerful beings that are in there, the more energy he can draw from it. Because in the
Mm-hmm.
comics, that was kind of his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Every version of himself that existed throughout time was feeding energy back to the ultimate Kang, essentially, who was back in that little city that we saw in Ant-Man. That's where he resides, and he's just soaking all this shit up. And if it's like that, then that would make sense to have a lot of strong people there. But at the same time, it is a bad idea to kind of build the army that you're going to fight
All right.
against you in
Yeah.
one place.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but hey,
Yeah.
but the evidence pointing to Kang the Conqueror. There's everything is pointing to him. Ravonna Renslayer, we know that's his girl in the books.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She obviously knows who he is, because she wasn't at all surprised at the TVA were robots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she knows who it is. And the biggest point of evidence that I've seen thus far is in the trailer for the next episode. Mobius is in a whip riding around in the desert. And if you look to his left, you see the Sphinx.
Mm.
Back in one of Kang the Conqueror's lives, he was an ancient pharaoh named Ramatut, and
Mm.
he drove a Sphinx spaceship.
Mm. And he could be just throwing you off.
It could be an Easter egg, like, hey, look, there's the Sphinx. Remember him?
Right.
But I find it just too convenient that Ravonna is still playing the same role that she did in the books, and the Sphinx is there, and Mobius seems to be driving toward it. Like, it's Kang, man. It's got to be Kang.
I'm gonna throw you for another loop. Guess who else was in Egypt, or guess who else was a mummy?
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse. Oh man, it could be Apocalypse, and that means the X-Men should be coming.
I do think that might be relevant to mutants. Well, hey, we can hope, right? Because we've been waiting on them for way too long already.
No, I'm just kidding. But it's definitely gonna be interesting, the next episode, and where they're going. Next episode is next Wednesday, and that's the episode before
The
what's his
penultimate
name?
episode.
Yeah, before Black Widow comes out, because Black Widow comes out next weekend, right?
Yeah, they already said Black Widow was just a mess up. They couldn't get it out in the right time, so unfortunately, it doesn't tie into anything.
No, it's just
Except-
tying in. But I'm just saying that we're gonna actually be seeing that too, and actually we're gonna be doing a review of that next. Are we all you're all gonna be able to see it that Friday, so we can review it that Saturday?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll be ended up reviewing that on next Saturday too, after Loki's episode. So yeah. So I guess you guys got your predictions. I to be honest with you, I was very like confused after this episode, and I was like, yeah, this probably confirms a lot of stuff. But shoot, even my fiance was like, yo, this is confusing as crap right now, which is great. I mean, it's great. It's great that they are throwing us for a loop. It was a lot in that episode, a lot going on in that episode, and we watched 3 and 4 back to back because she missed episode 3, so it was just a lot going on. You know what I mean? If you watch them back to back, so I think that more will be revealed for next episode. Hopefully, we can get closer to what the actual protagonist is. They'll probably be leaving that for episode 6, but we gotta see. Obviously, there's something bigger going on. I don't know what's gonna happen back at the TVA though, with Sylvie and old girl. But I think Ravonna really wants to go back. If it is Kang, she doesn't want to be in TVA anymore. She wants to be dusted, and she wants to go back to wherever Kang is. So if they are still in love interest or being love interest and stuff, so because she was ready to die, she was like, "Please, just get rid of me. Ain't nothing here. Just get rid of me." So, yeah, and the TVA is going to be in a pickle too, because now all is going to be revealed to them. That that everything was a lie. So
Mhm.
Cake is a lie.
yeah. So yeah. Um, yeah. So I guess we could go on to the next stuff if you guys want to. We can go on to some news. Looks like Marvel on Funko have released for Spider-Man's No Way Home costumes through the
and,
Funko Pops.
and it fucked up again.
Yeah, so let me let me share that real quick. Yeah, I think they
Jump
do
the
this stuff
gun.
on purpose, man. I honestly think that they really do this stuff on purpose just to get on our nerve, or not, or just to gain buzz. So here's the Funko Pops that are coming out, and they have a couple interesting costumes. They have the black costume. This looks like the Venom costume, but it's not. It's just a black costume. They have the Iron Spider, obviously. They have the Spider Man with the. Well, this one's interesting too because this one looks like the Spider Man with the arms, but it's not the Avengers or the Avengers one that he had on.
I think that might be Tobey Maguire's.
But why does he have the the
Let's
arms?
think about the Spider-Man animated series, the Mutation Saga.
Yeah, I
Where you
know
could,
that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's what I'm thinking might be happening on the film. Because if Doc Ock's involved too, he's probably seeking some help to get that taken care of.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Or, Pete might just be fucking around with the tech because Tony ain't there to show him what
Mm-hmm.
to do. So if he
Mm-hmm.
experiment, he might just be making different suits, trying to be like
Mm-hmm.
Tony,
Mm-hmm.
and they
Mm-hmm.
slightly different from one another because he's fucking around with stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
Now the
it's a lot of
key,
answers to it.
now the
Yeah.
key one is on the lower left corner there, the Doctor Strange Spider-Man suit.
Oh yeah, this one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Spider-Man, master of mystic arts.
Or I thought that was a Mysterio suit.
Mm-mm. No,
Oh.
that's Doctor Strange.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought yeah, okay, because it looked like he was holding like a Mysterio orb or something like that. So yeah. Okay, okay. Anything you guys think about this, or you just think it was a big mistake?
I don't think it was a
uh,
mistake, but
Yeah.
like Aaron was said, like you guys were saying, it ain't no mistake. But it ain't no context neither. So
Mm-hmm.
it's meant to cause buzz because no such thing as bad publicity. If they do something
Right.
like this, they release it, people talking about it. We talking about right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
people don't lose interest. They damn sure gonna want to see the movie now to know what all this is about. So
Right. Yeah.
and the trailer drops in 2 weeks. So
Oh, it does. Okay. I thought they would probably throw it with Black Widow.
yeah,
To
it's a
be honest
Sony
with you.
decision. Unfortunately,
Oh.
it's still Sony decision.
yeah, remember Sony still don't know what the hell they're doing. They make bad decisions all the time. Instead of getting the maximum publicity from releasing it when the biggest movie that everybody been waiting on to come out, nah, we're just gonna release it after that because yeah, we're
Yeah,
Sony. That's
and
what we
now
do.
I am slightly happy too because Kevin Feige officially confirmed that in Shang-Chi that was Abomination versus Wong. He came out in the interview this week and said
Makes
it.
me happy.
Okay. Okay. And when Shang-Chi comes out when? In September?
Yep,
No. Okay.
September, I believe.
Okay. So yeah, that's exciting.
It
We got
is.
to see why they cage these guys up. What kind of Mortal Kombat tournament that they're gonna do?
Yeah, it's great.
I was,
I mean, I think they're there both of free will. I think
hmm
Abomination's working for somebody, probably Ross. And
hmm
Wong, you know who Wong worked for. He don't work for
hmm
nobody but,
hmm
so he like this they probably there checking out what the hell's going on, you know.
hmm hmm
And they just happen to be paired up against each other and Wong drew the short straw.
I'm just excited
Okay.
to see who else is fighting in the tournament because
Me
it's
too,
going to be a
bro.
lot of Marvel cameos.
hmm
Oh,
You
it's
know,
like it's like predicting a Royal Rumble, bro. It's too exciting.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
too
Yeah. Yeah.
exciting, dog. It
hmm
it's because so much stuff been announced. What if Blade's there, bro?
Yeah. That would
see
be really
Iron
interesting too.
see Iron Fist get the crap beat out of him.
They probably throw Venom in there, just cause. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's going to be very interesting. We got any more news?
Yeah, this one's going to break Tez's heart here. NetherRealm Studios officially announced yesterday that Mortal Kombat 11 is done. No more DLC, no more updates. It's
So do we
over.
finally get Injustice 3 then? Because that's how they do.
Well, actually, there's been rumors going around, and very, very strong rumors that Marvel approached NetherRealm. So
That's exciting.
So whatever their next project is, it's going to involve Marvel.
The rumor mill was talking about a Marvel DC crossover fighting game. Who knows, right? Flip a coin. I'd rather not, though. I'd rather see a standalone Marvel fighting game first with them before I think about that, because the difference between, well, I guess it's not really a difference, but it makes more sense to have a fighting game with Marvel characters because they're a lot more down to earth. So actual fisticuffs make sense, you know. Without the Bat family in DC, ain't nobody just throwing hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but in Marvel, everybody throw hands. You know, even people with powers, they still got to throw hands. So I think it'd be dope. I'd like to see it, especially with the customability that they've been doing on their games. It'd be like the Avengers game, but done right.
Didn't Injustice do the evil, like the dark DC stuff already?
Yeah.
Ooh, one of them. Because
Okay.
remember, there are hundreds of different timelines where people lose, they shouldn't go crazy. You know, Injustice is just one, but you know, you got the Dark Knight's Metal, where you got all the evil Batmans, which are amazing. And I don't understand like how you could even root for good Batman anymore, because these evil Batmen are so much cooler than him. And so I don't know, but
Batman who laughs.
the Batman who laughs is the man. Okay, let's just say that, because he's so much better than regular Bruce, bro.
I think they should do a DC villains fighting game first. So they just bring in all the villains, like Two-Face to come in and run you over with a car for a fatality, you know, or throw a coin, or cut you in half with a coin.
I'm starting to think
Drop a
that
big penny on you.
I kind of think Disney hates money, because if they really wanted to get paid, they could just release a legit Marvel vs. Capcom 4 and get it over with.
Yeah, but you got Marvel Capcom 3.
Yeah, so. But we don't even want to talk about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Yeah, it was bad. But another thing, too, though, is like when it comes to that, I think it's less about them and finances and just prioritizing. Like, I think Disney don't give a damn about the video games, you know, except for, you know, and even including the Kingdom Hearts series. They're like, okay, video games or whatever, you know, that's a side hustle, you know.
Yeah, I mean, they got the Avengers game that, but that's not Disney's property. Yeah, so
that was a mistake. Like, it's so easily fixed. Such an easily fixed mistake, because you know you snatch out some of these micros, lower some of the grinding, and it's still compelling. You can release, you know, regular updates like a damn mobile game. They release regular updates and events, do the same thing, and people will still play it. You know, but
they're about to come out the Black Panther and Wakanda in it, so that Avengers game. So
which is sad, because it turns into who cares, because everyone's like, okay, Black Panther, who cares? And then after that, for PlayStation, it's Spider-Man.
Yeah, like, and I thought they've been released Spider-Man. I didn't. What took them so long?
Sony probably.
Yeah, probably.
Because they was probably trying. Now, question: is he Sony exclusive?
Yes.
That's probably what it was. They probably was like, okay, we're gonna release Spider-Man across the board, and Sony was like, no, the hell you're not. And that's.
But we knew when the game came out that the Spider-Man was going to be exclusive for that game. I don't understand why they didn't just release it with them. That's stupid.
Well, the whole roadmap got destroyed because the game was so screwed up that they had to pretty much fix the whole thing. Because again, it's another problem with modern day video games. They don't wait until it's done.
Yeah, they never wait to finish final product to release the game no more. I mean, look at Cyberpunk.
And it's mostly because of not the production companies, but the companies that distribute it or that's backing it. They really want the game fast, so they can start making money off of it. It was like, yeah, we paid you $100 million for this game. We want our money back. Like, nah, it takes time, man. Movie
And now
studios do the
that,
same thing.
and not only that, people are now finally listening and voting with their wallets.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody bought the Avengers, and well,
Mm-hmm.
good luck with and even Outriders when even they start having issues with the whole coming out too soon thing. Pull the same mistake as the Avengers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Destiny goes through it every time they come out with shit. So it's inevitable, man. The only games that can come out right, and it's because they reskin the same game, is 2K and Madden. That's it. All they do is reskin the same game.
I don't
So
even want to talk about Madden. There should be a strike against them after this year's release. That's coming
yeah,
out next
yeah,
month.
yeah, yeah. Because ain't nothing upgraded. It's just a roster.
It's
That's
just
all.
No,
whatever.
no. Oh, no. You forgot. They also changed the ending cinematic when you win the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, yeah. Forgot. Yeah. They just added some stuff to that. That was it.
You actually go to Disney World now?
Nah, that's not what happened. So yeah. Any other news?
No, off the top of my head.
Okay. All right. So yeah, well, I guess we will end the episode here. And I want to thank you guys for watching again. Remember, we are live every Saturday morning, like a Saturday morning cartoon or 90s Saturday morning cartoon. And yeah, so you guys can like and subscribe wherever you guys are listening or watching, on either on YouTube, Spotify, Google Music, wherever you consume your favorite podcast. Make sure you guys comment and let us know what you guys think of the episode, so we can answer your questions. I'm actively watching it to answer your questions or anything that you want to comment on. And yeah, so see you guys next week, and peace out.
And happy 4th of July weekend.
Oh yeah, happy 4th of July weekend. See you guys.